Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Tribe video. I hope you've all had a really good week, and I'm just going to start this video by telling you about some of the changes that are happening, or some of the new things that we're going to be doing as of this week. So as of this week, I will be doing a few more videos. So we're still going to be doing this Tribe video on a Sunday morning. I'm also going to be doing 2 midweek videos as well. So these are going to be just called Josh's Vlog for now. And they're just a chance for me to share some of the thoughts and reflections that I'm having, really. So some of the things that I believe God's been telling me in this time, in my sort of quiet time and reflection time, and I'm just going to be sharing that with you in sort of just short 2, 3, 4 minute videos, and they'll be coming out during the week, so they'll be great if you kind of watch them. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. The other thing is the Tribe group that we would have on a Sunday morning. We're now going to be doing a Zoom call for you guys. So midweek we'll be gathering together on our laptops or phones or whatever it is you use, and we're just going to take the opportunity to catch up with each other, chat about life in lockdown, and then just sort of see how we can support each other through that time. There's not going to be much teaching in that bit, because the bulk of the teaching will still come from these Sunday morning videos that I'll do as well, but it just means that these will basically just be the worship and then the teaching. So that's it. I'm really excited about those videos, and I hope you are too. So we're now going to move on to our worship. And I just wanted to reiterate this week why it is that I think it's important for us to continue this sort of routine of worship together as a group. And I know that we do it individually at home, and quite often at different times, because you watch this video as and when you're available to, and that's absolutely fine. But it's still, I think, really key, because we're still coming together as a group and we're still worshipping corporately, even though we're in our homes, and we're possibly doing it at different times. So I think it's really important that we do keep doing this. So in a second, pause the video, go to the YouTube playlist, and listen to some of the songs, take a moment to worship, take a moment to reflect, and then when you're done, come back to this video. Cool, so we'll get straight into this week's topic. Now, this week's topic, I want to talk about a verse that's really well known. You will have heard of it, I imagine, and it's very common within Christian circles and within churches, and that's because it's a really empowering verse. And that verse is Philippians 4 verse 13, and that's, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Now, the reason I want to talk about this verse specifically today is because actually I think this verse is sometimes misquoted or misinterpreted. And I know that's a really strange thing to say, because it's such a famous verse and it's used so widely, and I don't want to take away from it at all, because it is a really powerful verse, and it's almost a war cry that we can use. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But actually, I do think there's a danger if it is slightly misunderstood, then a few, down the line, if something doesn't quite go the way that this verse would suggest, it can be a cause of denial or fear or even anxiety. So that's what I want to do today. So the verse, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I want to start with an anecdote told by an American preacher called Tim Ross. He's a fantastic preacher and well worth listening to if you have the time. But he talks about a boxer, a Christian boxer, who used this verse like a mantra. He used this verse all the time. In all of his press conferences, he would talk about, I'm going to win this fight because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. He also had it on his shorts, so in every fight you could see this verse, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And he genuinely believed that this verse meant that if he did this fight in God's name, or because he had a faith, that he would win that fight. And then of course he got onto the ring, and he lost. He was knocked out, and there was this TV shot zooming in of this boxer knocked out on the floor, and on his shorts was this verse, I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. And I think this is the danger, that this verse, we somehow think this verse means that we can do everything that we want to, do anything and everything that we want to. Well, I thought I would just read some context for you now around that verse and what it was actually kind of said, the context that it was said in. So I'm going to read from verse 11. I'm not telling you this because I need anything. I have learned to be satisfied with the things I have and with everything that happens. I know how to live when I am poor, and I know how to live when I have plenty. I have learned the secret of being happy at any time in everything that happens. When I have enough to eat, and when I go hungry. When I have more than I need, and when I do not have enough. I can do all things through Christ because he gives me strength. Now, I think what happened with this boxer and with a lot of people is with this verse, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, is that it becomes a self-serving verse. And we focus too much on the I and not on the Christ who strengthens us. And it becomes this verse that means, oh, I want to be rich and famous. And I can do that because God strengthens me to do it. And it becomes this thing where we can justify almost anything. And I think I've heard people in this kind of time using it to justify breaking the rules and suggesting that they can go out and not get this infection because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I don't think this is what this verse meant or what it was pointing to at all. And actually, in the context that we've just read, he's talking about actually there's two things here. You've got when I don't have enough food and when I'm full, when I don't have enough to live and when I can, and being content in both. And with this boxer, he thought this verse meant I can win this fight because God strengthens me. But actually, what the verse means is whether I win this fight or whether I lose this fight, I can get through it and I can get back up because it is God who strengthens me. And God, on the Christ that strengthens us, is the focus of this verse, not the I. And I think it's more than relevant in this time, because we could use this verse to mean, oh, do you know what, I'm going to go out, I'm going to see my friends, and I'm going to break all these lockdown rules because I can do anything because God, Christ strengthens me. But actually, what we should be looking for from this verse now is I can get through this. I can make the sacrifices required as a country to get through this because it is Christ who strengthens me. This verse is a here and now verse. It's not in the future. And I think that is the danger, that we when we read this verse, we look too much into the future as, oh, next week I can do, or next year, or when I'm older, or whatever it is, I can do anything because Christ strengthens me. But I think especially in this time, the focus of this verse is for the here and the now. I can get through this that I'm in because it is Christ who strengthens me. And whatever I have to face next week, I can get through that because it is Christ who strengthens me. So I really pray that we can hold on to that, because this is an empowering verse. It is a war cry. But please don't focus on the I. Focus on the Christ who strengthens us.